Hello everyone at fstoppers.com. My name is Howard. Today I'll be showing you a really low-cost photography technique to get some pretty interesting results. The only thing I'll be using today is pretty much my camera and a tripod. The camera we'll be shooting with today is a D200 Nikon, and I'll be shooting with a 12 to 24 wide-angle lens. Basically, the shot we're going to go for today is to emulate basically the car catalog type style shots, where it shows the car in really fast motion. It looks really, vibrant and really interesting, right? So it's like, okay, so how are we gonna come about, creating this type of shot? All I have is a camera and I always have a tripod, right? So this is how it's gonna go. Okay, so we made a previous attempt to try to shoot the car in motion. I almost got hit by the car. I had a fear, like deer in the headlights, I didn't know what to do. So basically, in order to achieve the speed, to achieve the illusion of it going fast and to have the background more blurred, what Jimmy ended up doing was he ended up driving the car and actually putting a turn to it. So then it created more of a dramatic spin to it. When we tried earlier attempts, we tried putting the car in neutral and just pushing it, but apparently it wasn't fast enough to get the effect that we were looking for. So pretty much the shot that we just took was at least 1 second, and the aperture was at 22 to pull in the least amount of light. I have my ISO set at 100, and I'm using the widest lens I have, which is the Tokina 12-24. I'm using a polarizer as well to cut down the amount of glare that's shown off of the car's hood because the light is hitting it directly. So without the polarizer, there'd be a lot of glare. After some test shots, we finally got the shot we were looking for. Yeah! Alright, so lesson learned. Do not leave bird stains in your car, otherwise it'll be marked permanently and your paint will be done completely. So, now we're going to do some, glamour shots of the car. We're going to go to a parking ride. So pretty much the second photo shoot we'll be doing is we'll be exploring strobe, which is basically multiple flashes that will be going off while taking one image. Are we rolling? Are you rolling? Are you kidding me? Dang! Oh crap. And we are back to photo shoot number 2. We're going to do strobe photography. So what we did was that we went back to my place. We used a really small room. I set it up very small black backdrop photography setup, and didn't take too long. I ended up using a tripod for the camera to make sure that the camera was still when taking a long exposure. And I pretty much used my SB800 to create the strobe effect. I ended up using a Gary Fong diffuser as well. Set my flash to repeat. It was set at 1/16 of the power of the flash. I had the flash go 8 times by 8 Hertz. And by dividing those two numbers, it actually gives you the shutter speed. The aperture was set at 5, and I had my ISO set at 400. And by using that setting, I was able to get pretty good results. I realized that making too much movement actually created a lot of stacking, so it made the image really unclear and not as appealing or not as clean. So what I ended up doing was I ended up sitting down and try to cut my body and my head as still as possible, and actually just wave my hands up and down, almost like a flower or a blossom, whatever you may call it. So that pretty much gave a really, clean image of my hands just moving up and down. And after getting that result, I'm all like, okay, so this works pretty well with the flash. So what if I just end up using the built-in flash instead off my camera? I entered the same values that I did for my SB800, did some test shots, and it ended up being too overexposed. And I realized that, hey, I used a diffuser for this flash. We decided to put this diffuser in front of the flash to take the picture, and it ended up giving the same results. So when it comes down to it, if you're not using a large amount of space and you're on a budget, built-in flash works great. Pretty much that concludes our shoot. Earlier today, we ended up doing a photo shoot outdoors, using a car to create the illusion of speed, which was inspired by car catalogs, and that ended up just requiring only just the camera and the tripod, and doing settings where it just had a long exposure, and using a polarizer also to reduce glare. We were able to get some pretty good results through trial and error. So I just wanted to say that thanks for following with us, and I hope you had a good night.